You ever catch yourself turning a simple decision into a 10-step process? Same. I used to do this shit all the time, and it drove me nuts. But here's the thing. Most of what we overthink doesn't even matter, and the worst part? It held me back from actually living. So if you've got 8 minutes, stick around, because I'm about to show you how I stopped overcomplicating every damn thing, and how you can too. We all do it, turn tiny, meaningless decisions into massive internal debates, overanalyzing every possible outcome, and stress over shit that doesn't even matter. But why? Our brains are wired to protect us, but instead of helping, they sabotage us. Let's break it down. Ordering food, sending a text, picking a show to watch. Sounds simple, right? Nope. Somehow I made these decisions way more difficult than they needed to be. I would stand in front of the menu like it was a life-altering fucking decision. I would draft and delete the same text a dozen times. And let's not even talk about the mental chaos that would happen when I had to pick a movie. But why does this happen? The mind is wired for efficiency, yet it loves to trick us into thinking every decision is critical. It's part of our survival instinct. Our brain evolved to assess risks, avoid danger, and ensure the best possible outcome. The problem? We're not in life or death situations anymore. Choosing between sushi or pizza isn't a survival crisis, but our brains act like it is. You ever waste way too much time trying to pick the right option only to get so stuck you just give up entirely? Yeah, that's this. Thinking more equals better choices. Nope, more options just meant more time wasted. I used to spend way too long scrolling through Netflix just to end up watching nothing. Too many choices made my brain freeze, and suddenly, a simple decision felt impossible. Here's why. Our brains get overwhelmed when faced with too many choices. It's called decision fatigue. The more decisions you make in a day, the harder it becomes to make the next one. It's why successful people simplify their lives, wearing the same type of outfit every day, meal prepping, automating small choices, so they can save their brain power for the stuff that actually matters. I get it. You want to make the right choice. I did too, but let's be honest, most of the shit I obsessed over didn't actually matter. I used to hesitate to send a text because what if it sounds weird? I overthought my response in a conversation, analyzing every fucking word. But in reality, no one was overanalyzing my life as hard as I was. This fear comes from a mix of perfectionism and the way our brains are wired to avoid regret. We trick ourselves into thinking that if we just think a little harder, we'll find the perfect answer and eliminate any chance of failure. But in most cases, a good enough decision is better than no decision at all, the truth. Nobody remembers that slightly awkward text you sent last week. But the stress you put yourself through, that sticks. My brain loved to play the what-if game. What if they think I'm weird? What if I make the wrong choice? What if this one minor decision ruins everything? None of that shit was real, but it felt real. And suddenly, I was spiraling over a made-up disaster. This happens because our brains are prediction machines. They try to anticipate future problems, filling in the blanks with worst-case scenarios to protect us from failure or embarrassment. But here's the thing. 90% of the stuff we worry about never actually happens. The brain just hates uncertainty, so it makes up stories to feel in control. Instead of focusing on what's in front of us, we get lost in imaginary disasters that will never happen. And let's be real, most of this overthinking is just noise. Our brains are wired to solve problems, and when there's nothing urgent to figure out, they go hunting for anything to stress over. So we end up analyzing texts like they're life or death decisions or replaying random conversations from 5 years ago. It's pointless, but our minds convince us it's important. We've all done dumb shit like this, wasting time overthinking things that should take seconds. Here are just a few classics. Staring at a restaurant menu for 10 minutes just to order the same thing I always got. Rewriting a text message 12 fucking times to sound casual but not too casual. Over-analyzing a 3-second conversation and convincing myself I embarrass myself for life. Spending an hour picking the perfect outfit just to end up wearing my usual go-to anyway. Googling ridiculous questions like how to sound normal in a text, as if that was a thing. Sound familiar? Be honest. How many of these have you done? Drop a comment and let me know which one hits home the most. At some point, you have to ask yourself, how much of your life is spent stuck in your own head instead of actually living? Overthinking doesn't get shit done. And the more time you waste stressing over nothing, the more you miss out on everything that actually matters. I was spending more time thinking about shit than actually doing shit. And let me guess, most of the things you stress about don't even matter in the long run? Right. If my future self wouldn't give a shit about it, why was I wasting energy on it? Here's the kicker. While I was drowning in unnecessary mental chaos, life was moving forward. Time wasn't waiting for me to pick the perfect decision. All right, enough about why we do this. Let's talk about how to stop. Overthinking isn't some deep, unsolvable issue. It's just a habit. And like any habit, you can break it. The key is to shift from thinking to doing. The more you act, the less time you give your brain to overanalyze. Here's some practical advice with no BS. Adopt the 5-second rule. If you can make a decision in 5 seconds, just do it. Your gut instinct is usually right. The longer you dwell, the worse it gets. Trust yourself and move on. Try it with small things first. Picking what to eat, responding to a text, choosing a workout. The more you use it, the easier decisions become. Limit your options. Fewer choices equals less overthinking. Try this. Next time you're at a restaurant, pick from the first 3 things that catch your eye. Done. Same goes for shopping, movies, and just about everything. The less you give your brain to stress over, the easier life gets. If you find yourself stuck, set a time limit. Give yourself a few extra seconds to decide and move on. Stop seeking perfection. Most of the time, a good enough decision is way better than waiting for the perfect one. Perfection is a myth. Nobody cares if your text has a typo. Nobody remembers if your outfit wasn't 100% on point. Nobody is analyzing your choices as hard as you are. Get it done and move forward. A good way to remind yourself, ask, will this matter in a year? If not, don't waste energy on it now. It's time to just start. Overthinking thrives in inaction. The longer you sit and debate, the stronger the mental spiral gets. The best way to kill overthinking? Take action. Send the text, order the food, start the workout, press play on the show, just do something. You don't need the perfect plan, you just need momentum. Action clears your head faster than thinking ever will. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? If not, move the fuck on. Seriously. Most of what I used to overthink was forgotten within 24 hours. So why waste energy on it? The next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause and ask, will this even cross my mind next week? If the answer is no, don't waste another second on it. So next time you catch yourself spiraling over the dumbest shit, remember, your brain is just bored and looking for something to stress about. Shut it down, make the decision, and move the fuck on. Life's too short to waste it overthinking shit that doesn't matter. What's the dumbest thing you've ever overanalyzed? Drop it in the comments. I guarantee you're not alone. And if this video just made you realize how deep in this shit you are, hit subscribe, because trust me, we have a lot more to unload.